Hello, welcome to Miss Talking USA Radio, podcast exploring Fantasy Flight Games, Arkham Horror, the card game. I'm Ben,
I'm Dan.
and tonight we're excited to share with you what I think is our final preview of a card from the upcoming Scarlet Keys expansion.
That's right,
And
folks. The last one.
yeah, I mean it's been a fun preview season. I think there's still more at least next week, but then I think we'll be like 2 weeks out from the supposed street date. So
Yeah, I
you
just
know,
got the billing email from Team Covenant like today. So,
oh, all right.
coming soon, probably.
Hopefully. All right. Yeah. So today we have a upgrade of an old card. Actually, I don't think we've seen too many upgrades of like past set cards or downgrades for previewed so far. I think it's mostly been new stuff. So, but there's usually like a chunk of them. So, people watching the stream can probably see the art that looks rather familiar. So the original card is Breaking Entering, a card that was in Winifred's set, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, I might be mistaken. It was in Circle and Done. um,
Uh, yeah, it's hard to tell. I
it's
can almost make out the set symbol down there, but it's Innsmouth. Okay, people are saying
Innsmouth.
Innsmouth. I think that's right.
Was Innsmouth in 2020? I thought
It
that was a
definitely
Circle and Done
feels.
symbol. This seems like something I
Yeah,
should have checked ahead of time. It feels like a long time ago, though, right? Um, Yeah, so Breaking Entering. So the original card is a cost 2 event for rogues with an int and agility icon on it. It is a trick and it is investigate. Add your agility value to your skill value for this investigation. If you succeed by 2 or more, you can automatically evade an enemy at this location. This attack does not provoke an attack of opportunity. So that's the original card. I think
have
it's
you
card.
have, have you played the original one very much, Ben?
I have not, but I also haven't really played Trish. Have I played Trish at all? I think I've played with you being Trish and with
It's
somebody else
it's
being
like a
Trish.
it's like a rock solid staple for Trish, and I think it can be good for other kind of like the kind of like agility clue investigators. Like you could play it in Finn or something as well, but it's really Trish. I think where it like completely shines.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Rita can run it, because then she actually could get clues with it and get an auto evade. Does that trigger her ability? I forget her ability if you succeed by something or not. But
Not really relevant, honestly, because when are we gonna play Rita? But
I mean, I assume like 1 or 2 packs will get like a million tricks, just like Mateo got like blessed. We'll get like trick tokens in the bag, and
yeah,
that'll
famously
that'll.
famously really good investigator currently, Father Mateo, who was completely
I mean,
completely fixed all the bless cards.
he has access to all the blessed odd sets, so uh, at least makes him more palatable, I think. So,
But
but
anyway, just starting from a baseline of I like the level 0 version of this
mm,
card.
mm,
I think it's great in Trish, and I think it's playable in some of the other ones.
yeah. So let's look at the upgrade. So upgrade's very similar. So this is a level 2 event, still cost 2, still agility and intellect icon, still a trick. The effect is add your agility value to your skill value for this investigation. No, sorry, it's an investigate action. If you succeed by 1 or more, you may automatically evade an enemy at this location. If you succeed by 3 or more, return Breaking Entering to your hand at the end of your turn. This action does not provoke attacks of opportunity. They still managed to get the flavor text. If you're careful, it's just entering in there. So, yeah. So I mean, we've seen this upgrade pattern a lot before. There was a bunch of
Yeah,
them in.
Batboy mentioned the green trick cards, like
Hmm,
Slip Away is another one of these. There's a few others too, and a lot of those have like virtually this exact same
Slip
kind of
Away.
upgrade.
Yeah, so it's similar to like Slip Away and Cheap Shot. All the stuff that came with Winifred. Um, because one of her things was like committing a bunch of skill cards, succeeding by a bunch, and then drawing cards off of like Cigarette Case and also her ability, and just like cycling her deck a bunch. And these allowed her to get another benefit off of the succeed by. So
So getting it back in your hand is very good.
mm,
Like that's kind of like draw a card, sort of.
yeah,
Like it doesn't help you find things, but like this is an effect that you probably can use multiple times. Like it's not like this is something that you only want to play it once per game.
mm,
If you can keep getting this back to hand, you can probably keep playing it, right?
yeah. And if you're playing,
And good.
yeah, if you're playing like Trish, or Winterfed, or even or maybe not Rita. What's
You're
your space in?
you're almost definitely playing Cigarette Case too. So
Mhm.
like, you're already trying to pass by two. If you can just pass by one more, and it's also, it's not like you're gonna like commit everything to make sure you pass by three. Usually, you're gonna like aim to pass by two, and then you're gonna have a pretty good chance of passing by three. And if so, you get to keep this, and it's like a great bonus. You know?
Yeah. And what's interesting, there was I think an FAQ. It might have been a while ago. Is like as long as this is in an area that is on the board, you can still basically retrieve it. So Dane's not here to advocate for it, but you could like you could play this, tuck it under Crystallizer of Dreams, commit it from Crystallizer of Dreams, and then still pull it back as long as your deck doesn't get shuffled. I think if your deck gets shuffled while this is in your discard, you don't actually get to yank it back, which is a little sad. But yeah, I
Okay.
mean,
Interesting. So like, so I mean, like Crystallizer, after you play an event, it goes under Crystallizer, right?
yeah,
And you could like replace that kind of.
I think so. Unless it's face down under Crystallizer,
But
that might not be true.
but couldn't you? Well, but wait a minute. Like Crystallizer is like a, you may put something under Crystallizer, right? It's not like you automatically must put every event under there.
That's
Oh,
true.
but I guess what you could say is, you could say, I'm going to put it under Crystallizer, see if you succeed by enough that it goes back to hand, and if you don't succeed by three, then you leave it under Crystallizer, maybe.
Yeah. Uh, because well, you finish resolving the event first, so either way, you can put it under Crystallizer. I'm saying you can still at the end of your turn, you can still pull it back from Crystallizer, if it's there. Like it doesn't have to be pulled back from your discard pile. Like, this could
Oh,
be
got it, got it,
from
got it.
any.
Yeah,
So if there's other effects that like you link a card after you play it, as long as it's like in a searchable area. I think I quoted the rule to
no,
Dane earlier, but
that makes sense. I forgot that it was that it comes back at the end of the turn. I thought it came back like immediately.
yeah, that is a downside. Like, so you can't just like play it 3 times or whatever if you succeed by enough. Um, but it still gives you the recursion. It has a lower threshold for the evading trigger. And if you're adding agility, at least in standard, there's a good chance you'll succeed by 2 anyway. But
And
gives a
for
little
people that
buffer.
have, never played this card, maybe just like, because it's a relatively weird card, right? Like it's not like the use case for it is maybe not like completely obvious, but like what's good about it is you you're doing an investigation and you get to add your agility, so like it can help you pick up a clue where there's high shroud. And in addition to that, like suppose you have an enemy on you, because this doesn't provoke AOs. This is like a pretty good way to deal with an enemy if you're not like a fighting character, because you pick up a clue, you don't get AO'd, and as long as you succeed by enough, you kind of get a free evade on it, even if it's an enemy that's normally hard to evade. And then it works even better with Trish, because with Trish, when you investigate, you can choose to either like get an extra clue or get a free evade when you have an enemy on the space. So usually what you do is you play this, you get a free clue from Trish's ability, and you get the free evade outbreaking and entering. So it kind of like gives you both halves of Trish's ability at the same time if you succeed, which you usually do, because you usually play this in a character like Trish who has like 4 in and 4 agility, and you're like probably going to succeed.
Yeah. What about in Monterey, Jack? I know you were a big fan of him. Is this something you would play in him to get extra
Maybe. I mean, I
value,
think
or do
it.
you not lean towards that way?
I so to me, like, because this is like pick up a single clue, or with Trish 2 clues, I think this is really good in lower player counts. Like in 3 or 4 player, getting clues is all about like spamming deduction recursion or like archaic glyphs. It's not so much about like read the bones type cards that are like pick up 1 or 2 clues,
Hmm.
Um, but I still might throw this in as like a one of, especially the level 0 version, because Monty, like, he can only have 5 level 0 yellow cards. Obviously, if you could have like 12, you'd take like 12. So level 0 Monterey Jack deck building
Oh
is
no!
kind of tricky. Like,
Wait,
and yes, and Kotora in the chat is mentioning Monterey Jack can't take
can't
the level
take
2
it
version, of
because
course.
of the edge of the earth building rules
Yeah,
to put
yeah.
a
Well,
dollar in
but
the
but
the
he can
jar.
he can take the level 0 version, right? And
Yeah.
I think like, and other people like Finn, I think Finn can take the level 2 version, right? Because
Hmm.
it's not enough of a green card for him to be unable to take it for some reason. It's not like too green. Um and like I guess Ursula can't take it. Who else can take it that might want this?
Someone's mentioning Charlie in chat. Because wait, he can run Fergus. Oh, there's like a lower level version of Chuck Fergus, I think,
Oh, really?
which is the one that uh
Yeah,
is in the
a
pack.
lot of the good tricks are, I think, higher level, but like this one, this is also it's a pretty good Chuck card, I think, because you can make it free and you can also like either make it fast or you can improve the your skill on it.
Okay. Oh, of course, Charlie can take level 5 allies. What am I thinking? But yeah, he could do nonsense with anyone could do nonsense with Chuck, and because it's a trick, you can make it cheap and fast,
I
you
don't
have buff
think
your skill.
I don't think like Dexter would take this. Like I'm trying to think of just other people who have green off class. Like I don't think Dexter would take it. Um I don't think does Bob have a green off class?
Yeah, Bob
Bob probably
levels up into green, right?
probably wouldn't take it.
I mean,
Or,
Bob's weird. He likes to get like the weird item nonsense, and I don't know. I don't know if he does evading as much with events. I think he
um,
has runs more items, but he can take it.
I think it's not bad in Wendy, um, especially if you were trying to play a kind of like events Wendy, like with a lot of events.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she only tests at 7, but she can do her redraw.
Yeah, and
And
she's gonna play like Moonstone and stuff. Maybe Peter Sylvester, so she's maybe gonna boost her agility.
yeah, I mean,
Corrections
any of
maybe.
the rogues that have some type of bigger money engine also might like it. It costs 2, which is sort of cheap for rogue stuff. Um, but yeah, like Jenny can get two money a turn to do it. Preston probably can run it. I don't know. I guess Preston might be a little bit harder for Preston to do the succeed by just straight off, but I mean he's like all the rogue nonsense. He can pay his way to pay his way to victory.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah. So I mean, it seems like a nice addition. I guess it's kind of like completing the cycle, right? That we saw with like the Winterfed stuff. I wonder if this was a card that was originally going to be like in Winterfed, but like had to get cut for space or something. I don't know.
Can you think of any other green events that would be really nice if they had this type of upgrade where if you succeed,
I mean, I pulled up the trick.
like if you succeed by enough, you get it back to hand.
I mean, I'm sure there are some. I'm just trying to think out of my head. What does hit and run do? No. Yeah, I mean, it looks like most of them have been covered because a lot of the other rogue events are like play stuff. There's not too many other.
There's definitely not that many tricks, right?
Well, there's like 38 tricks now according to my
Yeah.
Arkham DB search, but some of them are upgrades and some of them are like you handle this one or
It
stuff that
kind of
helps
has
you
to be
evade or things.
yeah, like it kind of has to be one that has a it kind of has to be one that has like a test on it, sort of,
Yeah,
right?
Kotora in chat suggests that is there a rogue? What's the rogue ward? Oh, it's you handle this one.
Or counter
You
espionage.
oh yeah, counter espionage. Where's that? Oh, yeah, that's not a trick, I guess. But yeah, you handle this one. If the person you pass it to succeeds by 2 or whatever, you get to return it to your hand or
That'd be
something.
pretty nice. That'd be pretty good.
Uh, yeah, yeah. I don't know. Any other thoughts on this one?
Not really. I think it'll be fun next time. I mean, Trish is definitely one of my favorite investigators to play in like a two-player game, and
Mhm.
so I expect I'll play Trish at some point in the future, and I will probably won't be the first thing I upgrade into, but I will definitely upgrade into this at some point.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. What do you think about this upgrade? Are you happy to see this completion to, or at least in addition to the trick cycle of recurring trick cards? Um, yeah, you
Tricks
can.
Matrix.
What?
The Tricks Matrix.
Uh, yeah, you can find the links to all of our socials and our Discord at social.mur.fm to follow what we're doing. If you enjoy the cast, we always appreciate a nice review on your favorite podcasting source, or a comment on YouTube, or wherever you listen or watch this video and or audio clip. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.